I share. I'm trying to be quiet because I'll sleep in the other room. And I'm trying not to like cry and run over right now. And I'm also just trying to like hold it together. If you watched my original video, my major hip surgery at 24, you know that I hurt myself at work and I'm going through WSIB. Well, WSIB is a very slow, lengthy process and everything needs to be approved. And the approval process takes a long time sometimes. And my caseworker, I've had to really like, there's so many things. Like, I talk a lot about this on Instagram, so please follow me on Instagram, Abigail Santa, because it truly explains everything in time. But I can't right now. I'm so frustrated. The past months, like since I hurt myself December 9th, I've had to advocate for myself day in and day out for what I need and my pain. And after doing lots of physical therapy, nothing's working. And then finally I was at my breaking point one day and I went to the hospital February 16th during a snowstorm because I couldn't take the pain anymore. They gave me an x-ray. They couldn't see anything because you can't see a labral hip tear on an x-ray. So he thought it was tendonitis. I knew it was not tendonitis. I've knew since pretty much day one that whatever I did to myself is not great. But a week after my injury, I did go see my family doctor. She mentioned that it could be a labral hip tear. It could be something else. But when she mentioned that, I was like, there's just something like, I'm not a doctor. I'm an early childhood educator. But in my hearts of hearts, I knew that I was a labral hip tear because it just made the most sense. And of course, Dr. Google and reading articles and watching videos and all the things, it made sense. Okay. After we went to the hospital, a week after that, called my family doctor. She referred me to a sports medicine doctor. Sports medicine doctor I saw within like a few weeks. Again, this whole process has been a very lengthy time. Months in between, and keep in mind that I've been in chronic pain for months. Like, it hurts to sit, it hurts to walk, it hurts to lay down, it hurts. Everything hurts. And I'm not being, I feel dramatic because I grew up in a thing where it was like, you call a doctor and you feel dramatic. You go to the hospital, you feel dramatic by going. Like, that's how I grew up, was raised. You can either relate to that or you can't. Another thing is that I hate taking pain meds. I hate taking anything because I feel like my body's going to get used to it. And I have all these like irrational thoughts. Not on them, but like I felt like my body's going to get used to it. It's not going to work and eventually I'll have to get a stronger dose. Like, I just think about all these thoughts. So I've been taking Tylenol pretty consistently for a few weeks now. It's just like, why do I have to take pain meds to be able to get through my day? And I feel like that's normal to people, but to me, it's not normal. Anyways, so the sports medicine doctor, he put in a referral. He also didn't know it was a labral hip tear. They didn't think it's tendonitis. My family doctor, sports medicine doctor, they didn't think it was tendonitis. They weren't sure if it was a labral hip tear. Sports medicine doctor was leaning towards that. He goes, that would make sense. I said, okay, great. Put in a referral along with my family doctor for an MRI. Luckily, there was a cancellation. I got my MRI a couple days later after seeing the sports medicine doctor. Conveniently, that was the same week I got Arlo. So, had my MRI. A few days later, I got the call from a sports medicine doctor that I need to see him like his soonest appointment to discuss my results. He confirmed it was in a labral hip tear. Labrum, my labrum in my hip. You also have one in your shoulder. The one in my hip tore. There was a tear along with a cyst. The cyst is a fluid pocket. Now, the cyst is not something that we're really worrying about personally. I worry about, which I don't think was like it's just like another thing, you know? Anyhow, I have a tear. It's a small tear, but eventually, like, it could get worse. For a while there, I thought it would affect my cartilage. Apparently it won't, but like, I don't know what to believe anymore. Which we'll get into. Also, this is why I'm sharing like the bad, the good. It's a lot, but now that I've uploaded that first video, I can give you guys like in the moment kind of updates and share the side of it, because I feel like this is the side. I live in Ontario, Canada. The healthcare system is fucked. And to have so many different doctors telling you so many different things instead of just healing you is such a fucked up situation. Because I'm trying to get it together. Because they're not the one that's in pain. There's people sitting at their desks, typing on their computer. And this is my assumptions. Of course, when your mind starts racing, they're not in pain. These surgeons are not in pain. Or at least I don't know about it. They could be, but like, besides the point. They're not living with this pain 24/7. And I know I'm not the only one on this planet that's dealing with pain. Trust me, I'm well aware. But selfishly, this is when I can be selfish and be like, I'm living in pain. I'm hurting. Help me. And you have to wait for approval. And it's just so frustrating. Okay. I'm really trying. Anyways, MRI, we did that. My sports medicine doctor called the surgeon. He is apparently one of the only, I don't even know if that's true anymore, surgeons that do labral hip tears, and he specializes it in young adults. He also doesn't believe in hardcore medication. All those values aligned with me in my situation. He also doesn't really accept WSIB cases. He said he was going to accept mine, and he would do my surgery. Let me go move my nails. So, I hit the right button this time. So, he called the surgeon himself. The surgeon said he would do my surgery. Awesome. So, this entire time, I'm still working full-time. Full-time, kindergarten classroom, accommodations, no one listens. It's fine, but again, it's just like you're advocating for yourself. Anyways, from there, I knew that we could get cortisone injections / a steroid injection in my hip to help with the pain. You can only get this in, like, only get cortisone injected in your body every 3 to 4 months. So we're postponing that. Hear me out. We're postponing that. This was back in March. Postponing that because we didn't want to put off my surgery. I haven't heard back from that surgeon. There's been referrals put in. It is what it is. But WSIB has a specialty clinic that they wanted me to go through because everything is expedited. I don't know if it's actually expedited. I feel like it's just a sick joke at this point. Because with my caseworker, I constantly have to like advocate for myself and be like, why is it taking a week to approve this? Why is it taking a week to approve that? Basically, and my family doctor in this time, the past few weeks, has put me on half days because I physically cannot do it anymore. The pain gets worse. I'm starting to have no life outside of work because I'm physically in so much pain from work. So we did that. I had a meeting with the board that I work for accommodations. They wanted to put me off completely because I have such a very strict accommodations. Which reminds me, I have to send another email out giving more updates, which is so annoying. Then WSIB said they had to approve it. And I was like, what do you mean you have to approve what my doctor is saying that I need and that work is willing to work with me for it? Because he had to pay me my last time. Okay, cool. So, and now this is where like the mental list builds up because I just think about all the things I have to still do. Especially the clinic finally reaches out. They get me in relatively quickly. What a blessing. I go in guns blazing because I have to constantly advocate for myself. I'm constantly getting over this like How did it happen? How was your pain level at? What when you do this? What do you do? And then they have to assess you. I have been physically assessed. That sounds weird. They had to move around my hips and do all these things and push and prod, which just hurts so many times, from physical therapy to doctors to follow-up doctor's appointments, that it hurts so much. And to have to keep advocating for myself and saying the same fucking thing to get some help is very aggravating. So, from my understanding, when you have a labral hip tear, you require surgery because the tear will not heal itself. According to this other surgeon, and he is like the head chair at this hospital, okay? He just gets his clients, I guess, through WSIB. I don't even know how this all works because I think it's a load of crap. Respectfully, of course. But again, I am just someone that's injured and needs help. And I just look at this whole situation as a mess instead of just being like, you know what? Yeah, let's help you. Okay? He says that my tear could heal on its own. That sounds like a load of crock of shit to me. However, we're going to get these injections done. My injections are not scheduled for another month and a week away. It's April 23rd right now, and I don't have mine till May 27th. The thought of that just triggers me. Because I had to live a whole other month in pain. And we had to put off my surgery another couple months. Because apparently, by getting this injection, it will determine if my pain's coming from my labral hip tear. We can assume, because that's when I hurt myself at work, and that's when this tear happened, and then that's when the pain started. We could already assume that if this injection takes away the pain, we don't need surgery, apparently. But it could be something else. I don't want to have to get these injections for the rest of my life to survive. Because when you get the injection, the pain stops, which makes you think you can live a normal life. And I think about, and this is where I start to like spiral. I think about future kids. I think about life and things I want to do. And if I can't bend down, if I can't do most things that require hips, how am I supposed to continue the rest of my life? Which is why I believe surgery would fix my tear, which will make me heal, and I won't have this pain anymore. Makes me a good candidate if the injections don't take away the pain. So why am I waiting all this time if it's a 50-50 chance it will work or not? Because the surgery is major surgery that comes with complications within it. And that there is another surgeon who will do it that specializes in labrums, in the shoulder and in the hip. Cool. And after this injection, I'll have a 2-week follow-up appointment. If my injections work, fantastic. We talk about the next steps, which I don't even know what that looks like. If it doesn't work, then we schedule my surgery 6 to 8 weeks after that. 4 to 6 to 8 weeks after that. So now we're looking at the middle of summer surgery while having a kid full-time. Terrifying, because I don't really have any help. My family helps, but they work full-time. Every single one of them. That's a tough battle. And then we look at my recovery time. And then I also had to look at collecting EI for summer because I work for the school board. You get laid off 3 times a year, but you're guaranteed a job. Riddle me that one. But if I had to have surgery, then I can't work. But then WSIB needs to pay me. But then they're telling me, because of my contract with the school board, they can't pay me over summer. But if I can't work due to having surgery, it's a ball of fuckery. It's like a tornado right now. And everything's just like swirling. And I'm a planner. And I just have to literally let go. Let them. Use the let them theory. I have to really channel into that. But I'm little miss. Stress about it, worry about it, overanalyze about it. And then things work out for me. Always. Let me go blow my nose again. That's where we're at. I know I can get this injection ultrasound guided, because that's the key. Also, where they want to inject this long ass needle is not where the pain is. I don't know how that works. Again, I'm not a surgeon, not a doctor, but that to me sounds fucked. I also know these people give these injections all the time to people in pain. The fact I have to wait a month and a bit because they apparently only do these injections once a month at this hospital. And I missed the April cutoff because I was waiting for an approval from WSIB. I can't express just how aggravating that is. And then my doctor's office does do these injections. They have someone that does, except for my doctor believes that I should go wait for the specialist, which is fantastic. That was it. In a day, I got that answer. That's ideal. Before that, I called back the hospital where this clinic is through, WSIB's clinic. And the girl was very rude, which makes me annoyed because my health should be first priority. And if I can get this injection done somewhere sooner, for answers sooner, I don't understand why there's a no involved. That to me is what's annoying. I'm just very upset and defeated by all of this. So I just live the next month in pain. And then we find out 2 weeks after that injection if we need surgery. And then we wait for that. And oh my god, I'm gonna cry again. Fuck. And having someone tell me you're in an expedited program. And the WSB clinic, when I said that I was gonna get my family doctor, she was very rude and basically was like, we'll dismiss you from this program if you do that, and you'll be waiting 2 years for surgery. It just felt very who's Team Abby? Who wants to help me? Yeah, anyways, that's kind of the status update as of April 23rd. I feel just so defeated today. And there is days like this where I feel defeated, and there's days where I'm so full of hope. And I'm so excited for the next step. But it's very hard to move forward and make future plans when there's surgery on the line. And not just any surgery, a major invasive surgery. And the worst part about all this is I'm what if I tore my hip right apart? Would I have surgery faster? I almost wish that this was worse so I could have had surgery faster. And I feel that's a very fucked up way to think. But I'm sharing this because obviously I think if you've gone through this or something like this, or maybe you're just curious, hearing all these steps and how things work, it kind of just puts things into perspective. And I know this is very long-winded, but I think it really actually gives people an understanding, because when I was researching about labral hip tears, it was always the pre-op, the surgery, and the post, but it wasn't the living with the chronic pain before. It wasn't the during that surgery part, and then it wasn't the following steps. And I want to share those because if you think about it, I've shared a lot of things on social media that were stressful and complicated, and I've shared all these hard parts. Matter of fact, I had one of my pregnancy meltdowns in the same bathroom. Because to me, sharing is helpful. Not everybody gets to see the side of things. So I'm here to do it. Ugly crying and all. Ugh, I have to go make dinner and get back to motherhood here, and then prep for work tomorrow and do all the things. Also, another thing is I wear fun earrings to work every day, which my students love. Anyways, yeah, that's a current status update, and it's very annoying, and researching all these things and going down the rabbit hole is just, it's hard. And putting your trust in people that don't know you and you don't know them, and you just hope that they're doing the right thing for you, is really hard to do. Thanks for listening. That's the status update. Hopefully the next vlog will be more cheery. Deep breaths. We got this.